Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. With me here, this is Abigail Akinyi. I'm a Kenyan student currently studying in China, but I'll always share information about different countries because before I came to China, I actually had to do a lot of research in different countries for relocation purposes, especially for education. So in today's video, I'm going to share before you relocate abroad, the things that you need to know first before you relocate. And with me, I have some notes that I've listed down so that I can be able to give like detailed information of each and every program. So first thing first, before you think about relocating abroad, you need to first know the program that you want to study. A lot of people will be like, I've completed my high school, but I'm not sure which program to study. First thing first, you need to know what is your passion. What do you want to do when like in the future? Like that are the kind of goals you need to first be like knowing in your mind before even thinking about I want to study in this country or this country. You first need to know the program of your study. After knowing the program of your study, now we are going to look into targeting the country of your study. Like as you know, there are different countries around the world. There are like so many countries all over the world. Now you have to consider a lot of factors before you pick the country. For instance, for me, I'm in China. I considered a lot of factors before I moved to China. And even before that, I had already looked into countries like the UK, Netherlands, Australia, and Canada. And for each country, I had like reasons as to why I decided to pick that particular country. So for you, if you, for example, you want to do business or you want to do engineering, you need to consider those factors like the language of instruction. Of course, most of the people are from English-speaking countries that I'm talking to. So you need to know like the language of instruction needs to be English for you to be able to understand. Apart from that, you also need to consider like maybe some people have effects with the weather and things like that. You need also to know if the weather in a particular country is okay with you. For example, where I am in the northeast of China, it's very cold during winter. So for example, if you are like, some people have like diseases, they can get sick easily with a lot of cold. So maybe this place is not very good for you. You can consider, yeah, it can be China, yeah, but maybe on the southern side where the weather is way better. And also like countries like Canada is very cold, so it won't be very favorable for everybody. And also another thing you should also consider like living expenses. Yeah, countries are expensive abroad. It's not cheap for real. Like things are expensive. For instance, right now we know if you have ever searched about these big countries, sometimes the UK and the different countries, it's very expensive, especially if you go to the main cities. For example, London will be expensive. Even if you come to China, city like Beijing, Shanghai, it will be very, very expensive. And also places like Sydney, Australia, New York, USA, it will be also very much expensive. So you need to also consider these kind of things when you are selecting the country and or like the place you want to go to study. And also you also need to consider like, apart from that, there are some countries that are actually not that expensive for students, especially European countries. There's countries that are like cheaper in terms with tuition fees, accommodation. Like countries, USA, Australia is not that cheap. It's very expensive with education. For example, we Kenyans, we are targeting like millions of money for you to be able to pay for your tuition fee. So those are the kind of things you need to consider. And secondly, after the program, your target country, you need to consider those factors. And now, after you consider those factors, maybe you have, okay, I've checked and I've considered maybe I want to come to China, or I want to come to, or I want to go to Australia or the UK or something like that. The next thing you need to know is something to do with, you need now to shortlist, because I mean, this country, for example, China has thousands of universities. Same with Australia, same with the USA, UK, thousands. Now you need to narrow down the university that you want to go to. I mean, depending on the major, depending on the language of instruction, tuition fees, all these things that you know you can be able to afford. Apart from that, they also like location, because they are kind of, like for example where I am, the school is not in the, like in the city, outside the city. You need to consider, if there are people who just like to stay in the city, so you need to check online and know this place is located in the city or in the countryside, those kind of information. And also apart from that, you also need to check the acceptance rate. There are top university that the acceptance rate is very small, like maybe 1%, and the other like maybe 70%. You need to weigh on those things so that you cannot be frustrated when you are doing your application. And also you need to consider things like, some schools have a lot of reviews online, and also like some students who have studied there before, they'll be like, okay, this school is like this and this. You need to all narrow down on the review placed by the previous students or alumni. And also you need to consider things like the program requirement. Like each school has different requirements. Some will say we want this GPA, some will say we want this high school marks, all those things. You need to put into consideration all those factors that I've mentioned. Apart from that, now after you check this into consideration, now we are looking into like application, because each school, each country, they have different intakes. There are those with just spring intake and maybe autumn intake. There are every like autumn, like winter intake. There are some of them like September, some in March, some in January. You need to look also into all of these. And apart from that, you also need to look into the day they start the application and the day the application is going to finish. That is very important, so that you make sure you do your application on time, you get all your details and everything that you need, every other details on time. Those are like the first things you need to consider. And apart from checking the requirements and the deadline, you need to, for master students, you need to write a good CV for your application. A good CV is very vital when you're doing the application for your studies. And for depending with countries, for example, UK, USA, there are different templates online. You can check on it and be able to understand each and every detail that you need to know. So apart from all these things, after you know, every country is different. For example, China, there are some schools that won't ask you to pay school fees in the beginning. They'll tell you after you come here, after you have done your medical, then you pay school fees. But for countries I know, like some of it in Australia, you need to do like a school fee deposit, specific percentage. Even the UK, I think, is like that. You need to do specific percentage. Some will say 50% of tuition, some 70%, some will want the whole tuition fee paid. Each school policy is different. That's why when you are searching online and getting to know all these requirements and details about the school, it's very essential you check also when matters concerning your fee deposit. You need to know how much percentage they are asking you to pay before you enroll. This is for those people who are like paying for their own fee. Like after you consider all these things, also while doing the application or while checking the schools, you also need to check the school website. Like the schools that offer scholarships, yeah, each and every person, like I always encourage people to try and look for schools that also offer scholarship, so that you can be able to balance your life abroad. Abroad is not easy. If you cannot get like schools that offer scholarship, unless you're able to afford everything, then go for it. But if not, try and get, even if whatever percentage of scholarship you can get, if it is 50% or fully funded or whichever percentage, try as much as you can to try and get those kind of opportunity, because times are hard right now. Scholarship are really vital and they really help big time. So you need to look like universities, scholarship. Also choose university that there are those different scholarship. There are government scholarship, like, and they're also like that. For example, the Chevening, there's Hungarian, there's the like different types of scholarship that are offered in each school. For example, here in China, we have the Chinese government scholarship, and also we have each university, most of them, they actually do have also like university scholarship. And for me, I always encourage people, because this big scholarship, for example, in China, is very competitive. So if you can apply for the university scholarship, there's a higher chances of you getting it. But if also have your grades are good, you can write good SOP or something like that, you can also apply for the government scholarship. If all your papers are in order, you can actually get it. So after that, if you can check all these requirements, The next thing you'll be talking about is getting all your documents ready so that you can be able to apply your visa and any other things you need. For example, if you have to pay for insurance, some places they tell you pay insurance before, and some places you'll pay maybe after you've reached school. It all depends with each school, each country's policies are different. And for example, when it comes to visa, also each country's visa policy is different. For example, the big five countries, sometimes they ask you to have home ties. You need to have home ties so that you can be able to, like home ties relates to something to show that after your school, you'll go back to your home country. Yeah, those kind of documents, you just make sure the visa documents are in order so that after getting all the school, like you get admission in the school, you cannot miss your visa. Yeah, once you have all these things figured out, I think you're good to go and everything will be fine. So this was just like a highlight of all the things first you need to know before you apply for schools abroad. So for now, I just wanted to cover up like in general. Yeah, in general. In my next videos, I'll be talking about like, I'll doing detailed videos on scholarship, schools and countries, like each country if I can, and then like detailed description of each and everything that you need to know. I hope this message really helped each and every person all over the world, like immigrants who are trying to get their education, who are trying to get opportunities abroad. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.